All right, pre-show shenanigans. I'm not leading the pre-show shenanigans today, so realistically, you should have introduced it. But hey, here we are.
Yeah, you didn't even give me a chance to even say the
Nope,
pre-show.
didn't give
You're
you
so wired
didn't let you have
into
the
saying that.
chance.
Yeah, no, I'm a little disappointed actually. That was kind of gonna be my highlight of the day. Yeah, no, the pre-show I had was gonna be going through some stuff right now. The boys are in finals week. It's do or die time right now academically, and I won't comment on Tulane football, but if you know, you know. It's not a fun time around right now. So we're gonna do something that makes people happy. All right, we're gonna think about the cheerful things. What's the best Christmas movie?
Okay. I'm actually really happy you took us in this route. I'm very happy you did this. I saw a clip over the weekend of Macaulay Culkin accepting his Hollywood Walk of Fame star.
Yeah,
What is it called? The Hollywood
I
stars
think it's
Walk of Fame.
Walk of Fame star.
Let's
Yeah,
just say it's the Walk
same
of Fame.
thing.
But
Yeah,
he got
same
his
thing.
star, obviously, of course, hugging Kevin from Home Alone. I would say that
Who
Home
I
Alone.
looked like growing up too, by the way. Fun fact.
Okay.
That's what I was told growing up is I looked like Kevin from Home Alone. Now it is not a
Okay.
compliment. Now I look back on it, I'm like, you are disrespecting.
Slight roast back in the day.
Me. I'm not excited about that one.
If I'm gonna think though of just classic Christmas movies, thinking of my childhood things that would get me excited for Christmas, I would have to say Home Alone. I'd have to say Home Alone or Elf. Now, I have a little sweet spot for Will Ferrell as a USC guy, but I would have to say Elf or Home Alone, and I would lean towards Home Alone. The basic answer would be Die Hard right here, but I'll be honest, I've never seen it.
Calm down.
I've never seen Die Hard.
Calm down.
Sue me.
I mean, look, that's the age-old debate. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? And it's not really.
I just know it takes place on Christmas.
That's also like saying, hey,
Harry Potter is
a Halloween movie, a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Theoretically, you could maybe argue 4th of July if they're still in school around then, even though it's not even in the U.S. But
yeah, Harry Potter is a 4th of July movie, folks. I'm not sure if you guys have noticed.
It's Veterans Day. Yeah, no, it's a Veterans Day movie.
It's pretty obvious what they're celebrating. President's Day. If you guys not paid attention, Dumbledore is George Washington. Like, has anyone actually watched these fucking movies?
This is going to be a complete different tangent.
Snape is James Madison. Like, are you guys kidding me? Have you not seen?
You're starting to make me think of Shane Gillis's clips. Those are hilarious.
Okay, when Shane Gillis broke down the presidents, that was arguably the greatest podcast.
My favorite is still the just imagine you got a 6'2" red-haired dude with lead poisoning who's just rabid. You go into the wilderness, you're a European soldier just in the wilderness, and you see that guy coming at you.
Yeah, I know. If I were to remember, I think I one time had an AP environmental science teacher break down why Theodore Roosevelt was just the most homey president ever. They were talking about his football career, his athletic career, and they were just like, no, Teddy was for the boys. All right, Teddy was all about the boys. Okay, so. Well, if we're just talking homies, now I don't really know how we went from Christmas to presidential homies, but Shane that's kind of where we're going now.
There somewhere with Harry Potter. I don't know how we went from Harry Potter to presidents. Shane Gillis.
So this is probably actually a better debate. Let's think of non-actual Christmas movies that are the best Christmas movies. If we're gonna start with Harry Potter, I'm gonna go with Goblet of Fire. I'm gonna put Goblet of Fire at number one on
Christmas
that list.
In there. Yeah, also the very first one, Sorcerer's Stone. They got the nice the only time Christmas presents are ever in there.
Actually, being honest, that one's definitely the most Christmas movie out of all of them.
Christmassy movie, yeah.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the invisibility cloak is a Christmas gift.
It is a Christmas gift. That is correct. Yes.
Okay. We're gonna probably have to go with Sorcerer's Stone there, number one. Okay, actually, this is not where I intended to go, but this is where I'm going to go. A couple years ago, my roommate had never seen Harry Potter. He, like everyone, if you haven't seen Harry Potter, you're at least aware of Harry Potter. You probably know Voldemort. You're probably aware that Emma Watson.
Let me put a caveat in here. Let me put a caveat. If you're young enough where your Harry Potter is whatever shit they're about to put on HBO Max, as a TV series, just click off. Just get out of here.
I also want to get a caveat out there. I've never seen the Fantastic Beasts movies. I never plan on watching them. Let's just act like those are not canon. So, all right, just to the basics. You're going to give me a lot of shit here, and I can feel it, but I actually think number 5, Order of the Phoenix, is one of the best Harry Potter movies. Now, I know they got that awful, like, the woman playing the new Defense Against the Dark Arts, who I would say Dark Arts, probably the most annoying character.
The actress did a great job.
Like, if I'm really thinking of characters that just genuinely pissed me off, which is her intended goal.
Perfect.
Like, that's perfect. That was her role, to be the villain, to be the, like, all right, fuck this woman. That was supposed to be your initial thought, and that's exactly what you think every time you see her. Dolores Umbridge. Yeah, that's right. I just whipped the name.
He's got it on the noggin.
Like, she's the perfect villain in terms of audience reactions when she's on screen.
I did not know that today we were going to have a perfect deep dive into
no, we were not intending on breaking this down, but it's kind of like the playoff committee. Professor Umbridge is just an absolute bitch who makes no sense.
So who's the most deserving top 4 Harry Potter movies? And
true.
It's the
most, all right, so if we're going to the Tri-Wizard tournament back in the Goblet of Fire, let's talk most deserving versus the best candidates. Now, if we're talking most deserving,
I was going movies, not actual Goblet of Fire Tri-Wizard tournament stuff.
Well, we can put it in a tournament type style.
If you guys have been here long enough, one of our very first ever TikToks was whether or not Harry Potter was the greatest Quidditch player ever.
Yes, yeah, that actually was one of our first debates.
That was one of the first ones.
I mean, if you're just looking at the numbers, you have to put Victor Crumb over him. Did you know Harry Potter only played in like 15 Quidditch matches in his Hogwarts career?
Yeah, the rest of them either had like a wizard terrorist
blast cannon. Harry Potter invented taking rest. He invented load management. He literally invented load management. Okay. Harry Potter was Kawhi Leonard before Kawhi Leonard. Okay. And we don't talk about that enough. We praise him as this all-time great. He never even played in a Quidditch World Cup. How can we claim that Harry Potter is the best seeker of all time when he never even participated in a Quidditch World Cup? We can't. We simply cannot say that, folks. It's blasphemy.
Yeah, and then he almost used PEDs to become a better seeker.
Almost, he did use PEDs. He literally used PEDs. He Snape was
PEDs.
Oh, that actually is true. No, he did. He gave him confidence juice, liquid luck. Literally gave him that. That's cheating. Okay, that is so unbelievably
under the
against
NCAA
the
policy. That's a death penalty.
Under the NCAA National Committee of Wizard Athletics. Gryffindor's
getting death penalty. There's no more NIL for them. It's over.
Yeah, I mean that is a stage 3 violation right there. Okay, that is not allowed.
You want to worry about hamburgers with Michigan and Connor Stallions? Oh,
yeah, Gryffindor's about to lose some scholarships. Let me tell you, folks, it's not gone. It's not gonna be a good outlook after this. Yeah, definitely going to get a postseason
Severus, Albador.
I would say vacated wins, but I know that's a soft subject for some people watching this video, so we're not going to bring up vacated wins.
Those people have also probably skipped way past this.
Harry Potter, he did not receive illegal NIL payments to play for Gryffindor. He just cheated the game itself. Therefore, there are no vacated wins. You guys have a point. You guys have me there.
Technically, his professor did buy him a broom so that he could play.
So what you're telling me is Harry Potter was ineligible to participate.
Yeah.
All right. Case closed. Harry Potter is a fraud. Harry Potter is a fraud, ladies and gentlemen. We just solved the case right there. But okay. Back to the Christmas stuff. Yeah, no, Home Alone. I saw that video of Macaulay Culkin accepting his Hollywood star. Saw him shout out London Tipton, who's his wife. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
People forget.
It's got to be Home Alone.
I got The Grinch. It's a classic.
Ooh, yeah.
But Peanuts Christmas, Snoopy Christmas. That's probably my all time.
Yep. Okay. Worst Star Wars. Okay, Star Wars. The worst Christmas anything produced is Star Wars Christmas.
Yeah,
that is the worst.
Well, that is, but Christmas, technically Star Wars for like 6 years were Christmas movies because they came out like every December 18th.
Yes. Yeah. So if we're going from the worst Christmas themed production ever created, it would have to be the Star Wars Christmas special, which I believe came out
I've never
between,
watched.
oh, me neither. But I believe it came out between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So in between 5 and 6 and like 1980, I believe is when it came out.
Something like
flop,
that.
absolute flop. So yeah, I'd say that's the worst ever. But yeah, enough of that debate. We're on to the fun stuff now, Everett. Actually, that was the fun stuff. The rest of the stuff.
This is not a
slightly
fun day.
heated.
This is not a fun day for me.
Not the greatest day, but hey,
No.
we get through it. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today is episode 175. Conference championship weekend has wrapped. The college ball playoff is set. The transfer portal is already in full swing, and we had a pretty fun day of NFL football thanks to Big Dom. If Big Dom was not there, probably would be talking a lot more college football today. But thank you. Thank you, Big Dom, for that. And thank you, Zach Wilson, for pulling in Alex Moran. We will get into that in the NFL section. But okay, college football. We're going to start with the transfer portal, or we're going to start with a controversy that took place on Sunday. Everett, it's up to you. Where do you want to start? You tell me.
Let's start with the CFP. Let's start with CFP.
All right. Florida State was the first undefeated Power 5 conference champion to be left out of the playoff. If we are going off the 4 most deserving teams, FSU should be in the playoff. However, that's not what the committee did. Now, a couple weeks ago, the committee was preparing everybody. They were setting you up. They were sending a warning to everybody by saying the 4 most deserving teams have, quotes, never been in their lexicon. That's complete cap. That is so unbelievably false. The committee a couple weeks ago thought to themselves, guys, have we ever considered the possibility of Georgia losing to Alabama? Have we ever considered that? Because if that happens, Alabama's getting in, folks, right? We all agree. And they all sat in that room 2 weeks ago. They looked around the room and they were like, shit, you got a point. You got a point. If Alabama somehow beats Georgia, I don't think the committee expected it to happen. But they thought about it a couple weeks ago. Oh shit, break glass just in case of emergency plan. They had that. They were warning you, Florida State, after that Jordan Travis injury. So if they actually did put the 4 best teams, which the committee claims has always been their goal, and they've only ever considered putting in the 4 best teams, if that's actually the case, Georgia should be in the playoff right now, but they aren't. So it's within bounds.
Okay, let's
bounds what they mean is deserving and best.
Let's break this down a little bit. Okay. First and foremost, it is in their bylaws, policy, whatever you want to call it, that any injury or coaching leave departure that impacts the quality of play or performance will be subjected to consideration when it comes to placement.
True.
Obviously, that largely affects FSU because since they have won the 2 games that Jordan Travis has not been there, but ever since he got hurt, they have not been able to score points on offense. Their defense has stepped up, give them the credit there where it's due, but their offense is, I don't know if they scored more than 14 points in any given game. So I'm not going to
double check that, but
double check that right now. But their offense has been completely lackluster, right? And if you're looking at any of these teams that they would have to play in the playoff, it is very, very, very clear there'd be a marginal difference in ability between what FSU was and what FSU is. All right.
And 1,000%.
I feel horrible for the players there, and I feel horrible for the staff members and everything. And I know that if I were there, I would be sick to my stomach. But based on the rules that were in place prior to any of this happening, it is completely justified and fair. Now, when it comes to the best teams, right? When it comes to that situation, the only reason why I'm not going to say Georgia should be in there, has Georgia been playing like they were the one seed in the country, right? And have they been playing as such?
That's correct.
Yes. However, it's also stated that the committee values who you've beaten and who they've beaten. So meaning, okay, Texas beat Bama, Bama beat Georgia. right? Based on that criteria and the way that the committee works, and no place, if Bama beat Georgia, should Georgia be in, because Texas would be above Bama and Bama would be above Georgia,
Yes.
all having the same record.
Mm-hmm.
So by best teams, Georgia would not be in there unless you're going to take out Washington or you're going to take out Michigan.
Well, this is my thing. So the criteria that the college football playoff sets up of conference champions, head-to-head record is in there. I know what you're referring to. I don't have that in front of me right now, but I believe they list conference champion as one. Could be wrong, but I think they list it as one. I believe they put head-to-head at 2.
Yes.
And then they put like maybe overall record is the third.
Like strength. It's like that, and then
strength of record, strength of schedule
somewhere in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but the head-to-head record doesn't just apply directly 1-to-1. It's 1-to-1-to-1.
Yes.
Like that is,
so
it's linear.
Yeah. The one thing I want to say about like the head-to-head is, if we're comparing Alabama and Texas this season, both being 12-1 Power 5 conference champions, because all else is equal, the one tiebreaker between Alabama and Texas is that head-to-head matchup when Texas went into Bryant-Denny and beat them on the road. Texas 1000% has the tiebreaker over Alabama. Like, there were some people in the comments trying to debate me. A couple of days ago, I made a post saying Texas should get in over Alabama if they are the final 2 teams. Now, I didn't quite consider Florida State, right? Like, getting left out. I was truly under the impression that
they would lose.
An undefeated. Yes. First, let's start off with that. But second, even if they did win, I was like, they're obviously like I in my head, I was like, yeah, they're an undefeated.
And we also were
possibly
underneath the impression that Oregon was going to be Washington. They'd both be 12-1 as well.
That is another thing. So like, that is one other thing I just wanted to say though, is that like, let's say Oregon did win that game. Like, it's not like Washington would have like they would have been bounced, but it's like Georgia, there is some debate there because it's that literally it's the SEC. It's stupid,
it is, but also
like, that's how the committee thinks.
It is stupid, but also keep in mind, all right, Texas, like we're going by that policy. And you just said Texas above Bama,
yes,
right?
Not complaining.
Bama just beating Georgia in the championship game immediately, doesn't matter what, like that's still head-to-head, and that's head-to-head on the biggest stage. You would expect Georgia to be able to. So Bama's in, right? So now you have Texas and Bama because Texas is ahead of Bama. Then you have Bama because now they're ahead of Georgia, right? So if you have those 2 teams, you're concrete on Michigan being in there. You have the last spot, which would be Washington, who's undefeated. Unless you're saying that you take Washington out and put Georgia in, there is no situation where the best teams consist of also having Georgia in the situation that played out. Well,
yeah, that's the thing. So like, here, this is what I want to say. If we're going back to last year, okay, let's just go back 1 year. If they wanted to put the 4 best teams in the playoff last year, then TCU shouldn't have been in it. You know what I'm saying?
Because they lost the championship game.
No. Just you watch them play football versus Alabama play football last year. And if you could tell me with a straight face, you think TCU is a better team than Alabama, I'm not sure what we're doing here.
This is like the issue with that is like, because that happened is why things are playing out the way they are this year, because TCU got fucking curb stomped in the Natty. But keep in mind, keep in mind also though, TCU did go and beat Michigan to go to the Natty.
Yes.
So keep that in mind. So technically speaking, you can say that they did deserve it, that they were a better team to make it there because they still did win that game. And if you end up bringing up Cincinnati, right? Cincinnati that season where they made it, they were undefeated. They did go and play very good programs on the road. I believe they beat multiple ranked teams going into the playoffs. So,
well, this is the thing that year with Cincinnati. So in the Cotton Bowl, they lost 27-6 to Alabama. Alabama was a wagon that year. I know Georgia ended up winning the whole thing, but Alabama was an absolute wagon that year. Like, if the committee was truly about the 4 best, then Cincinnati probably wouldn't have been in it 2 years ago. So it's like within bounds. It's like you have to first meet the criteria to be deserving, and then it's off of like eye test. Which
But like, it's also
there's the
that year though, since he had beaten good, like they had strength of schedule. They did have strength of schedule that season to quantify being there.
I'm gonna just quickly run down what Cincy did that season 2021. They finished the season with what? Yeah, they had one top 10 road win against Notre Dame week 4. They finished their season with one other ranked win against Houston, the national championship. That the Notre Dame though, that win, I will give that to them. So that one's, in my opinion.
I mean, the more important win was they walked into Yeoman Stadium and beat us on the road. But I mean,
that also did happen as well. I didn't want to bring that one up, but
we were in that game for a minute though. We were in that game for a minute though.
That game did happen. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You tell me what you think of the Cincinnati there. If we're going back to teams that were best versus most deserving. I mean, the thing is, I understand that like there's many examples where Ohio State should not be in that, but like 2015 Ohio State, like I know they lost and they should not have been in. They're not one of the most deserving teams, but Ohio State was one of the 4 best teams in the country that year. But that's the thing. It's not based off like the only time they've made it based off the 4 best is now that the SEC might be out. That's where my slight problem is. I will say though, as a fan perspective, yeah, this is the correct 4. Like Florida State, I do not want to watch them just get slaughtered by Washington. That is not what I want to watch. Once again, though, your point with TCU, we all thought that Washington was probably going to beat Oregon. There are many things we thought Oregon or Georgia was going to beat Alabama. What you think is going to happen isn't what always happens. That is also
I mean, true. And also I've seen a lot of the argument. I've seen a lot of arguments about people being like, okay, well, FSU should have made it because I mean, Cardale Jones came in and he
that's
did all this for Ohio State, but it's not the same deal.
The thing is that Cardale Jones season. Cardale Jones, after his injury in that Big Ten championship game, they faced, I believe, a top 15 Wisconsin team in the Big Ten championship game. Do you know what the final score of that game was, Everett?
No.
59-0. Okay. Urban Meyer made a statement before Selection Sunday saying, I know we have a third string in, but guess what? We can still score with the rest of them. So a 59-0 Big Ten championship win over a top 15 opponent is way different than a 16-3 ACC championship win, despite Florida State being an undefeated conference champ and Ohio State being a 12-1 conference champ that season. So just with that out there, like those are the different circumstances there. Also back in 2014, a big reason why Ohio State was able to get that final nod over the Big 12 is because the Big 12 didn't have a conference championship game that year. Probably one of the biggest mistakes that conference has ever made. If TCU and Baylor rematch up in the Big 12 championship game, I think you'd probably have to assume that the winner of that game would have made the playoff over Ohio State, but they didn't have that game. Like that was the big difference there. For this game, Florida State, they had a couple of games with their backup quarterback in, and they weren't able to show that they had that high-powered offense still. So for anyone comparing the Cardale Jones run that Ohio State made, that's not very valid. That was a completely different story. But I will just say, though, they are the first undefeated Power 5 conference champ to ever be left out. They did everything technically that they had to do. Clearly they didn't.
No, they won their games. They won the championship that nobody thought they were going to win. And there was nothing more that they could do besides fucking somehow magically heal Jordan Travis's leg. So
yeah, this is one thing though that, hey, you tell me what you think. And some people online were bringing up, and I think I'd have to agree, but if Florida State lied about Jordan Travis's injury and said that he'll be ready for the playoff, do you think they'd be in?
Probably not. Okay. And the reason I say that is because they would have had to do it for multiple weeks. And also that requires you hiding Jordan Travis. That requires there being no media whatsoever. And at that point, people are going to be like, all right, something's really fucking fishy up in here. And the committee's also going to realize it's been 2 weeks. They're going to see how the offense is doing. They're like, okay, well, Jordan Travis is mysteriously not here. If he's still mysteriously not here the following week, there's a blatant disregard for it. And then also you have the whole optics of the injury. Like, unless they're going to somehow get him to walk off the field instead of getting carted off and everything. Like,
yeah, I was just speculating. Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's easy to hide up his injury.
If they could hide everything, and like he dresses, so he all right, maybe, but the commit, like, people are not stupid, all right, like that's the way that when
I think we give the committee a little too much respect here. They're pretty dumb. I think they're pretty dumb.
They are not observantly stupid.
Okay. All right.
It's a better way to put it.
We'll start there.
We can make that statement. But like, they're going to be able to, these people are going to be able to put 2 and 2 together. So a lot of these guys are athletic directors, and they like been around the sport.
They're like
for a while.
ADs,
former athletes.
Real quick over there, they add a picture of the people in the committee watching championship Saturday all together. And let's just say that the vibes in that room look so unbelievably down. Oh, the vibes 100%. In that room, they're looking over each other just like, so we better pray Louisville wins tonight, boys. We better pray Louisville wins tonight, or else, I mean, it's going to be an interesting Sunday. All right. It's going to be an interesting Sunday. Like all the factors that went into it at the end. Usually the playoff kind of plays itself out. This year it clearly didn't. And committee probably had to make the toughest decision they've ever had to make. Good news is
in the final year. Yeah. Final year.
Good news is they don't really need to take any
until somebody gets pissed off next year that somebody gets pissed off next year that the 12th seed is a G5 program and like LSU didn't make it or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is,
it will happen.
Moving forward, it's still gonna happen. But if you're complaining about not getting that like 12 spot, it's like, all right, come on, like you're probably
calm down.
Last team, like, all right, we gotta have different expectations here.
So if Ohio State had 3 losses, would you not be complaining that you didn't get to 12 seed?
I would not complain if they didn't get in. If they got the 12th seed and got in, I might be complaining. If they did make it, I'd be like, whoa, why? Why?
They didn't get selected?
Why did we put them in?
What the fuck? That? You don't want to watch that.
Like, one thing I was thinking about, we're about to get into a little bit of the transfer portal debate, but once these goes to 12 teams, the transfer portal could end up being slightly different. Today was obviously mass exodus for many, many programs, many players hitting it today. And with under the 12-team system, I can definitely see things changing with the transfer portal, how things work. I will just say, I'll have this out there. We're about to dive into it, but Kyle McCord entered the transfer portal this morning. Last week, Cam Ward, Washington State quarterback, also
next Ohio State quarterback.
So a week ago was announced that Cam Ward had, I believe, double-digit $1 million plus offers from schools to transfer. That was a week ago when the portal was not open. It was not legal to contact players a week ago about where they could potentially transfer, but Ohio State did it clearly. And that's the rumor right now. Cam Ward is going to be our guy next year. I'm hearing that. I'm hearing maybe a little Dante Moore, but if Cam Ward, as expected, does end up being that quarterback of Columbus, my question is, Everett, when do you think that deal went down? All right. Lincoln Riley, when he signed to USC a couple years ago, apparently he silently signed that contract in October.
Breaking news.
Ooh.
Breaking news.
Okay.
Completely unrelated. No, completely unrelated. We have been waiting years for this.
All right.
And I mean years.
Okay.
The Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer has dropped.
Thought that was tomorrow.
Nope, it happened right now.
So, okay. I've not watched it yet.
News. I've not watched it either, but
can you skip to the end of it and just tell me
if there's a release date? It says coming 2025. No date.
All right. So as a joke, my brother and I the other day were just thinking to ourselves out loud when that trailer drops, how funny it would be if it's like coming fall 2029.
That would be
And
pretty funny.
I couldn't even blame them at all if that was what they actually put on that trailer, because I was kind of expecting it, not gonna lie. To be honest though, the more exciting news about video games is NCAA 24 does not look to be canceled. That brought a big smile to my face. I was thinking if that game did come out as scheduled this past July, I would be going through rage sims on Dynasty right now rage sims. I'd be going through decades in 8-hour time period, just rage simming through a bunch of Ohio State sims right now.
Yeah, 100%.
I need that game. I need that game. If that thing gets delayed one more time, that's going to hurt me more than seeing.
I might cry.
I've already cried over this football game. I was looking up, it's been 10 years since the original NCAA 14 came out. That game was released July 9th, 2013. So I actually looked it up.
At the same time.
So hear this out. The very first ever GTA 5 trailer dropped on the day that NCAA 14 was released.
Dang.
Yep. It's been over a decade. Literally has been over a decade since that game.
But we can confirm it is in Miami. It is in Vice City. So
yes, that is a positive. That
can confirm that. Confirm that. Anyways,
all
back
right,
to the
little portal talk now. Okay. Ton of big names hit the portal. As expected, this is gonna happen. I would say as an Ohio State fan, am I necessarily shocked at the amount of portals at the transfer from Ohio State? No. But
and today's not the last day. Let's clarify that. There will be more coming.
Boy. Winter has not come yet. Okay. Winter has not started yet, Ohio State fans. Winter is coming still. Of all the names I saw hit the portal, these are the couple ones that really shocked me. None of them actually really shocked me. If anything, Kyle McCord is kind of the one that shocked me coming today.
I'm not gonna lie.
That one did shock me.
I was surprised by that. I was surprised, just like the guys that I actually know of. That I don't follow Ohio State football like that, obviously, but I know of more well-known players like Julian Fleming or McCord and stuff. I was surprised to see that McCord immediately left. That I was surprised that Julian Fleming was gone. It didn't surprise you, apparently.
So we'll start with Kyle. So what I've been hearing about Kyle, I heard his dad's a pretty strong-minded individual who, hey, I don't blame him too. If I were the dad of a top high school recruit, a D1 football player, I would definitely want my son also getting playing time too. But what I heard is that over the past week, Kyle and Kyle's parents sat down with Ryan Day, had a talk about next season, and essentially Kyle's dad wanted some type of confirmation that McCord is the guy next year. There wouldn't really be a battle, that McCord is the starter, and Ryan Day just could not tell him that. He told him, no, we're planning on having an open competition. We are looking at the transfer portal for quarterback names for next season. Ryan Day pretty much told Kyle's dad, no, we cannot guarantee that Kyle will be the starting quarterback next year. And according to what I've been hearing, Kyle's dad did not like that. And he wanted Kyle to hit the ball. I don't blame him at all for that. Do not blame him at all. Okay. We're now in a day and age where these players have opportunities to start other places, and they should go take those opportunities if available. They should. So when it comes to Kyle, I would say, do I feel bad for him? Yeah, no, I do. This year did not go to plan. It's not how we expected it to go.
Can we do a little breakdown of this real quick? Let's just go back to that recruiting class. Ohio State managed to land not one, but 2 of the top 10 quarterbacks in the class, and neither of them are going to be on the team.
Yeah, so essentially we can kind of break this down in a way. My brother and I were talking about it, but in a way you could say Quinn Ewers reclassifying kind of screwed up the trajectory of the Ohio State quarterback position. So Quinn Ewers, believe he was a 2021 member of the class of 2021 technically, but he was always class of 2022. He reclassified last second because at the time in 2021, Texas, the state of Texas, did not allow high school athletes to profit off of name, image, likeness. And at the time, Quinn wanted to make his bag. I believe he signed like a 7-figure NIL
like
bag with
air conditioning
Ohio
deal
State
or some shit.
Yeah, some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know, but he got his bag at Ohio State when he got there, and he was getting paid. But obviously, that didn't work out. And apparently, going into the 2022 season, so not this past year, 2 years ago, Quinn Ewers went up to Ryan Day and was like, "So I'm going to be starting over CJ next year, right?" And Ryan's like, "What the fuck did you just tell me? Like, what the fuck are you talking about, Quinn?" And so then he left, hit the portal, and dipped. So in a way, Quinn Ewers, if he did not reclassify, he would have been the starter this season. It's up to him if he would have sticked it out after that year, even though he would have been the starter last year. So that's where you could kind of maybe point some fingers to. But at the end of the day, I don't blame Quinn for dipping and going to UT.
Don't blame him at all. But realistically speaking, because he didn't even really play much of last season, because I mean he was hurt. I mean, you can look at it and be like, "Hey, I mean, you could have stayed at Ohio State. Maybe you made the wrong choice."
Yeah,
but they are in the playoffs this year, so I guess we can't really.
So
can't really say anything.
Can't blame Quinn for anything. He's also a Texas guy. Like if I was him, knowing how much of a fan I am of Ohio State, he definitely grew up as the biggest UT fanboy of all time.
Oh, so Vince Young era, 100%.
I cannot blame him at all for anything. But you could kind of point figures, say that's maybe where this started to go off the rails. Maybe that's where it started to go downhill. But I will just say overall, though, no, I'm not necessarily going to blame Quinn for dipping and screwing over Ohio State. What I will be mad at Ohio State for is how they handled the quarterback battle going into this season between Kyle McCord and Devin Brown. Now, these are all speculation. I don't know these for fact. I don't know these for certain, but I did hear going into the season that among the offensive assistant coaches, so we're talking Brian Hartline, we're talking those assistants, not Ryan Day himself, but the offensive assistant coaches voted Devin Brown to be the starter over Kyle McCord before the start of the season. They picked Devin Brown. They wanted Devin Brown to be the starter, not Kyle. However, Ryan Day overrode the offensive staff's opinion, and he said, no, Kyle's going to be the starter. It's not going to be Devin. And in those early games, in my opinion, what I saw between Kyle and Devin was that Kyle was allowed to throw the ball and play quarterback. And when Devin Brown was in, they turned him into JT Barrett and want him to run quarterback power every single play. And so I just would have liked to see Devin Brown have a chance to show that he could throw the ball. I mean, we have no idea if he can or not still, because he was never really given an opportunity. I just think it's very interesting. I'm very interested how exactly that played out, knowing that Kyle is not going to be our quarterback anymore next year. Seeing how that quarterback battle was handled, that disappoints me. That makes me a little upset. But that was kind of my Kyle McCord thought. Julian Fleming. So on to Fleming. He was the number 3 player in the class of 2020. He was in Jackson Smith and Jigba's recruiting class. So in that class, Brian Hartline went out, and I'm about to call out Brian Hartline, Everett. I don't think you've ever thought you'd see it.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised.
But in that class, Brian Hartline landed Julian Fleming, number 3 player in the class, Jackson Smith and Jigba, another 5-star. He landed G. Scott, and he landed Mookie Cooper. Now, when those 4 guys committed, Ohio State fans, and myself included, were going crazy over what's about to happen at the receiver position. We were freaking out. It was unreal. But of those 4 guys that I just mentioned, Everett, only one of them actually panned out, Jackson Smith and Jigba, albeit phenomenal player. But that's 3 misses in that recruiting class for Brian Hartline. Let's go a year later, 2021. Brian Hartline lands Keon Grays, Bryson Rogers. He lands Caleb Burton out of Lake Travis, which is where Garrett Wilson went to. And I believe Caleb Brown is the last receiver he landed. Now, you should not know who any of those 4 players are. Not a single one of them has touched the field. I do. Jaden Ballard, I believe, might be another one in that class, or is in 2020. Essentially, though, what I'm trying to get at is, who has Brian Hartline developed at Ohio State at the receiver position? I want you to just think real quick, who has he developed? Now, you could say maybe Garrett. You could say maybe Olave, but they weren't recruited by Hartline. They were actually recruited by former Ohio State wide receiver coach Zach Smith. So those aren't Hartline recruits per se. Now, Marv. Okay, let's start with Marv. Marv, phenomenal player. Many people say he's one of the best wide receiver prospects of this generation. I shit on Marv a little bit. Among all receivers to have over 1,000 receiving yards this past season, guess which wide receiver had the lowest catch percentage when targeted?
I'm just going to assume it's Marv because
It
otherwise
is
you wouldn't have
Marv.
brought it up.
At only 54% of his target throws did he catch the ball. Every other receiver.
How much of that percentage was a catchable pass?
Now, very true. I will be very true. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm also getting at is for the other receivers that have over 1,000 plus, almost all of them have over a 70% catch rate. Many of them are like up to 80%. It is ridiculous. I think Romo Dunze is the next lowest at like 65%, like a full 10% higher than Marv. What I'm trying to get at is that Marv is phenomenal on contested catches. He probably has the greatest ball skills I've ever seen in my life as a receiver. True, but he doesn't get open. He is not physical. He can't block. And it's not that he can't block. He chooses not to block. He just says, I'm not going to block. I was looking up Ohio State. I'd understand if you don't take him top 5. He doesn't block. And it's not that he can't. He chooses not to. I'm looking up at Ohio State run plays. We don't run to Marv's side because we know he's not blocking. We know that corner is fucking beating him like it's nothing and they can't run outside to Marv's side. So if we're just looking off that, where's the dog in my receiver room? Julian Fleming was the only receiver who gave a fuck about blocking all season. Now he's gone. Now, Julian Fleming at the actual receiver position itself, not very phenomenal either. But that's where I'm kind of getting at with Brian Hartline. Of this current receiver class, pretty fucking underwhelming. Emeka Egbuka, yes, injured, but I haven't seen improvement. I didn't see any improvement out of Emeka this year. Did you guys see any improvement? Fuck no. No, you didn't. You're lying to yourself if you say that you did. So, yeah, I'm going to call out Brian Hartline. I want to see some fucking development. Julian Fleming, number 3 player in the class. Now he's gone. Carnell Tate, Brandon Inniss, phenomenal players. Don't get me wrong. We know Brian Hartline can recruit, but development is not.
Well, he's
for
an
sure
OC
thing.
now, though. Like that's not really his job.
No,
right
he's
now.
still the wide receiver coach. He is.
Oh, he was doing
very
both.
much still the wide receiver. The OC is a fake title. Ryan Day's the offensive coordinator. They just gave him the title so he doesn't leave.
Well, I also know the OC during practice obviously typically breaks into one position group, but like normally it's been
He's
like
wide
quarterbacks and stuff. But
he's wide receivers. So like I want to see some more. I mean, next year we're going full scorcher. Jeremiah Smith better be on the field next year. Jeremiah Smith's going to start as a true freshman because he has to. Everyone else is leaving. Like he literally has to play. So we're going to run the South Columbus Express offense next year. Carnell Tate, Inniss in the slot. Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Smith out wide. That's going to be our 3 receivers next year. We'll see if there's a rotation. Definitely fucking not. I know Jaden Ballard's hitting the portal too. Leave, bro. You haven't literally not seen the field in 3 years. Why the fuck are you still here? I don't blame him at all for dipping. I don't blame him at all. But those guys left. Evan Pryor, motherfucker, he tore his ACL heading into the season last year. We're supposed to have a 3-headed RB committee for last season. He tore his ACL, and then going into this year, he just never really had a shot competing with Trevion and Mayan. Cam Martinez, maybe the worst fucking football player I've ever seen put on the Scarlet Gray in my life. Thank God you are gone. Keith Stokes, little disappointing seeing him go. He's a Georgia safety that we landed, kind of a big name that we got at the time, but he's already been passed up on the depth chart by true freshmen. So I understand him leaving. Reed Carrico, I'm not sure if he's ever even fucking played a snap for Ohio State, unless it was on like kickoff. And the kickoff team sucks dick. So we salute you, soldier. Ryan Turner, corner who entered the transfer portal, once again, already got passed on the depth chart by true freshmen Jermaine Matthews and Calvin Simpson Hunt. So it was nice seeing you, soldier. Yeah, I understand everyone who dipped. I understand everyone who left. I don't blame them for a nanosecond for any of it. What I was saying a couple of weeks ago that we were getting into in the transfer portal, Ryan Day's going transfer portal now. He saw what Mike Norvell did with Florida State this year, and he was like, oh yeah, nah, fuck them kids. I want players ready to play now. And I understand it because that's kind of where we're going now in this sport. If you want to compete and you want to dominate and win national champions, you got to hit the portal hard. And that's what Ohio State's doing. But other than that, looking like Cam Ward's going to be our quarterback. It is looking like Cam Ward's going to be the quarterback for Ohio State next year. Now I will admit, yeah, fully illegal. We contacted him. So illegal, we offered him a week ago.
Definitely did not illegally say anything before he was in the portal. Not at all.
1,000% illegal. That was definitely not okay that we did that, but we did. And here we are. But Everett's got to take a quick little potty break. Don't mind him, everybody. While we're at it, I can just go over a little quick couple of interesting transfer portal players I want to keep my eye on. The number one player that I am keeping my eyes on the most this offseason is Walter Nolan, defensive lineman out of A&M. We'll see if Evan Stewart hits the portal too. I'm expecting that one to happen. But with Jimbo getting bought out, A&M, a lot of moving parts. They literally signed the greatest recruiting class in college football history 2 seasons ago. We're expecting a bit of a mass exodus there. Ohio State fan, don't even consider Walter Nolan for a second. He's not coming. That's between Bama and Georgia. If I were, based on what I saw in the SEC championship game, seeing Alabama center kind of having his way with Georgia's nose guard, maybe Georgia is a more plausible option for Walter Nolan. We'll see exactly where he goes, but keep my eyes on Nolan. Keep my eyes on Cam Ward, Dante Moore, Will Howard, Riley Leonard, a lot of quarterbacks. Okay. Dylan Gabriel entering the portal. I was like, okay, this sport is nuts. All right. Dylan Gabriel, I think he's going to like year 5. This sport is ridiculous. DJ's back in the portal. Will Rogers in the portal. Van Dyke in the portal. It is just absolute haywire right now. One non-quarterback, non-Walter Nolan player I'm really keeping my eyes on is Oriano Pride. And I probably butchered that first name, but Pride, corner out of Clemson, a guy Ohio State was really in on. That's a big name player that I'm looking to see where he goes. I know Florida State hit this portal so unbelievably hard last year. So if you want to start competing, if you want to be the Florida State of next year and you pray your quarterback doesn't snap his leg in half so you get bounced from the playoffs, you got to be right now, this portal, that's got to be everything for you right now. It's got to be everything for you.
This portal is also just so stacked with talent up and down every position group that like, this is also like, I would say the biggest year we'll see the impact of the transfer portal in any one program.
I mean, just literally we saw Florida State become a playoff caliber team in a season
because of Jordan Travis. Yeah. But like, let's also just state it this way though, even in those years, like in one single day, being today, the first day the portal is open, we have never seen talent like this go into the portal in this amount. So,
and I'm expecting this A&M wave to keep rolling a little bit. I'm expecting some more guys to leave A&M pretty soon here. One thing I want to 100%. Now, Evan Stewart, he was the top receiver they landed in that class. Evan Stewart tweeted out, I believe he quote tweeted Walter Nolan, his teammate, entering the transfer portal. He had some quote tweet along the lines of, had a feeling this was going to happen after we didn't see $1 our freshman year, but everyone thought we were getting that sliced bread and that we were millionaires already. He's hinting that Texas A&M hasn't paid them a dime of their NIL money, which is the reason that everyone went to Texas A&M in the first place 2 years ago, and they signed the greatest recruiting class in college football history.
Yeah, they paid a literal NFL salary for their roster.
But the players never actually got that money. And so they're pretty pissed right now that they never actually got their NIL bags. So yeah, that is one thing. That's kind of what I had on the transfer portal. Moving on, I've got my four best teams. I've got my 4 most deserving teams. Slightly different lists, but I got 2 final rankings today. And
okay,
if I were to make my own personal rankings, it'd be pretty similar to what the committee actually did, to be honest. I think I actually agree with the committee when it comes to their final 10 rankings, if I'm going to be completely honest. But if we're going to play off the committee's rules here and pick the best teams, this is what I think are the 10 best teams in college football at the end of the season before the college football playoff. So we'll go 10-1. Ole Miss, Missouri, Oregon, Florida State, Texas, Washington, Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, Michigan. Washington, Texas, Oregon even though Washington beat them twice, kind of all interchangeable in my mind. Don't really have a strong preference one way or the other. But simply put, if the committee truly cared about the 4 best teams, Georgia would have been in there. They are. This is what I think it should be if it was based on the most deserving teams, going from 10 to 1. Penn State, Missouri, Oregon, Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Florida State, Washington, Michigan. That's right. No SEC teams in. If it was actually on the 4 most deserving teams, which the committee has been going off of until this season, now it's the best teams because the SEC might be left out. That's probably what the Final Four should be with no Alabama in it. But that's not what
we talked
happened.
about that before too, though.
Yes,
Just
yes.
saying.
But those are my final college football rankings lists of the season. Okay, wrap up my college football section. Heisman rankings, final one of the year. We're gonna go 10 to 1 for this final one. Yeah, no real race for this one. I think we all kind of know who's winning the Heisman this year. But yeah, okay. Caleb Williams, Ollie Gordon, JJ McCarthy, Blake Corum, Carson Beck, Marvin Harrison, Jalen Milroe, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, and Jaden Daniels. Yes,
you're putting Penix above Bo Nix.
True. So this is something that I was thinking of considering looking at. Going into this game in my head, I thought to myself, also strongly based off betting odds, Michael Penix probably gonna have to throw for like 908 touchdowns to pass Jaden Daniels. And if you look at the betting odds right now, I believe Jaden Daniels like minus 1400.
They also just like shouldn't count like these extra games though. Like it's just BS.
Well, I think conference championship week should 100% count for the Heisman. Problem. Oh my God. We're having magic on this podcast today. Actually, I want to hear. What? Can you not hear me? What was?
No, I have my earbud in. He could not hear you.
I was okay. All right, Chad. Thank you for joining us. Are we making an announcement right now? Are we no announcement right now? Okay, so we could just play some hypotheticals, have some fun a little bit right here. Everyone's going to debate with me about this. Tell me what you think, Chad. If the committee actually put the 4 best teams in the playoff, in my opinion, Georgia would be one of those 4.
I said no.
Bro, I think Florida State's one of the 4 best teams.
Okay.
The issue is part of their like process is if there's been like any coaching departures or injuries to a team that's like created significant impact in the way they play, that it goes against them. And like, well, FSU's defense has been great, and with Jordan Travis, they were a clear team. Like that offense has completely been non-existent since that injury.
What they do in the game before?
They were down, I think, 15-0 to Florida. They came back and won that game. Bad start though.
Yeah, and that.
Well, one thing I was thinking about.
But then hold on. But then you could say the same thing about Oregon. Like
in which game?
No, I'm saying about being one of the best teams right now.
Well, that's one thing.
It's a little bit
like,
different
I think
since
Oregon's
they have
in Texas.
But here's also
I'd
the other
so
thing
too,
though.
probably.
The other thing is if you look at part of like just by looking at the way the committee does it, right? Like let's not look at our opinion, just look at the way the committee does it, right? So objective, right? So now we have Bama.
Let me get that list.
Bama beat Georgia and Texas beat Bama. And they look at it that way, look at it linearly. So you have the records of head-to-head for the team that you beat and the teams that team beat. So if Texas beat Bama, Bama beat Georgia, then Texas is in above Bama and Bama's in above Georgia. So then you're going in, you have Michigan that's in there no matter what. And then you're either going to decide you're going to kick out Washington for Georgia or kick out Washington for Oregon.
Grant, give me the list.
Okay, so here is the principles of the NCAA playoff selection. Conference champions 1, that's number 1. Strength of schedule 2. Head to head.
I have to interrupt. Is this weighted as well in order?
They listed in this order, so I'm gonna assume. I'm gonna assume. I don't know. They don't specify, Chad. That's the key point here. Nothing is certain. Okay. even though this is on the website, I don't actually know if this is what they actually fucking go off of. That's just
Nobody fucking knows what they go off of.
So conference champions 1, strength of schedule 2, head-to-head competition 3, comparative outcomes of common opponents at 4, whatever the fuck that means. And number 5, other relevant factors such as unavailability of key players and coaches that may have affected a team's performance.
So listed 5th. It's literally just thrown in there as like.
But then it's debated if it's weighted or not. Like, is it just one of those factors, or is it
okay? Fine. Weighted? Even still, if it is weighted, no way to put last.
I said this earlier. Like, I feel horrible for the players at FSU, and if I was there, like, I'd be sick to my stomach right now. And it's just the fact of the matter of there's been a significant drop off in the performance there from Jordan Travis to Rodemaker, and like that sucks.
Well, Rodemaker's not even the guy anymore. Brock Griffin's the quarterback who was going to go to Ohio State.
No, it is Rodemaker.
Rodemaker got hurt last game.
He's back now.
Is he?
Yeah, he was just concussed. Oh. Just concussed. Yeah, he was game time. He was a game time decision last week.
But I mean, like, it's just that fact, and like looking at what the other teams. I think I also saw somewhere being like the overall strength of schedule for like that last spot between Bama and FSU. Feel like, okay, FSU beat like 2 SEC teams, but Bama swept the board with their 9 SEC teams. So like overall, I think Bama's strength of schedule was also better.
But I don't think the SEC is that good this year.
But like that's the argument. That's the argument that people were making, though. Is what I'm saying.
The issue is, though, committee doesn't think that. I think
all the committee cares about is what the matchups look like on the fucking on the internet. Yeah. Boom. Alabama, Michigan. 2 of the most historical franchises, big time fan base.
100%.
Brands in the world too. Like, I mean, bigger
and
brands in Florida State.
Still Florida State's a bigger brand than Washington. So we could start there. Like if your argument was based off the brands, that wasn't exactly it. I think, though, more so Florida State saw some arguments comparing them to Cardell Jones, Ohio State. I would say those are completely different scenarios if you're going that route. But I will just say, though, this is the first time an undefeated Power 5 conference champ has ever been left out of the playoff.
I'm just saying Washington, there's no excuse for Washington. They have an excuse for Florida State with the quarterback being out.
Yeah,
it is still, I think, brand related to brand.
I mean, yes. I've said this before. I don't think Washington's that good. They beat Oregon. Like they've just been in so many close games versus so many not great teams. Like, but it's the fact that they were undefeated, right? And that's why they got in. So now the question is with FSU, right?
All I'm saying, I'm picking Washington to beat Texas in the playoff. All I'm saying.
The committee is a bunch of the committee's a bunch of deep state NCAA old guys. Making decisions that have obvious ties to their holdings at Fox and ESPN and ABC.
Most of them are like ADs.
And exactly. Yeah. And they want the viewership to be the highest.
Yeah. And
deep staters, NCAA.
I don't know the exact number, but let's say there's 16 people on the committee. Wouldn't be surprised if 7 of them are SEC ADs. That wouldn't surprise me. That really would not surprise me.
Up to him, Grant.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, though. It is an SEC bias. This was my point, though, for this. 2 weeks ago, Chad, they were setting us up. They were setting everybody up. Watch out, guys. They left the crumbles 2 weeks ago after the Jordan Travis injury, and they said, whoa. When has anyone ever said that we care about the 4 most deserving teams? 2 weeks ago, they literally went out and said, whoa. This committee has never been about the 4 most deserving teams. We're about the 4 best teams. And in my opinion, that's just complete cap. That's so cap. They only said that because one guy in that committee 2 weeks ago was like, have we ever considered the thought of Georgia losing, guys? Like, I know, it's nuts. I know. But have we ever considered that? Alabama's in, right? And they were all like, oh, shit, you got a point. We got to start building this up right now. We got to protect them. I do believe that the committee was baking in some assumptions into their initial rankings leading up to this week. In my opinion, they were banking some assumptions. They thought Oregon was going to win. In my opinion, I don't know why Oregon was the number 5 team going into this weekend, but it seems to me they thought Oregon was going to win. It seemed to me they thought Georgia was going to win pretty handedly. It feels to me that the committee was kind of wait. I can't hear you guys right now.
No, you can hear us.
Okay, you guys. So you guys just saying secrets and making fun of me. Nice to know the truth. But no, that's bullshit. They were literally setting everybody up a couple weeks ago. Like, hey guys, the SEC is getting in no matter what.
Yeah, no, it's just like this is kind of the means to why the expanded playoff now has to happen. It's just like this is just like clearly like.
Well, that's another thing. The committee, they can kind of get away with it because we're going to expand it next year. They don't need to hold any accountability for next year.
But I mean, also the argument, like this is also the thing is like we'll see if FSU comes out for what bowl game are they in?
Peach Bowl against Georgia.
If they come out to the Peach Bowl versus Georgia and somehow win, then clearly the committee made a mistake. Because that's the level of competition.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
And of course they give them Georgia.
Yeah. No, like they gave them a big middle finger. Like literally the committee is being like Georgia, like they're literally thinking they're like, Georgia, you guys better just eviscerate FSU so we don't need to deal with this problem.
Have to.
Like literally they're banking on that right now. But I'm just saying if they're actually going, it's within bounds of the best teams. Like you have to, I guess, first meet their criteria of conference championship one, and then they'll get on to the rest. Like Georgia was never an actual consideration to make the playoff this year after they lost. They never actually considered that for a second.
Let's talk portal.
You want to talk portal? We've talked portal already a little bit.
No, we can go back. Yeah, let's say portal's in full swing, full haywire. Chad, tell me what you think. I think the most interesting news of the day is Tyler Buckner quitting college football and entering the portal as a men's lacrosse player.
I mean, he's comes from a very
junior now, I think.
Comes from a very well off family. No, he redshirted Buckner.
Okay.
Right? Didn't he redshirt Notre Dame?
I could not tell you. I only had the video of him getting screamed at in my mind.
Anyways,
Tommy Rees, who is his current offensive coordinator.
Family. I think lacrosse, if that's his passion, he should follow it.
Getting very philosophical.
Yeah, Chad, I appreciate that answer. I like that. How many more Texas A&M players are we going to see hit the portal other than Walter Nolan?
Oh, I have no idea.
I'm expecting.
Clearly was not a question for me. I don't know.
I'm expecting this Evan Stewart to drop in a couple hours. I'm expecting some big names to hit that one. How do you feel
about your boy Kyle McCord?
Okay. Now I don't think you're gonna like what I'm about to say about Honda, but I feel bad for him because, like, yes, Ohio State fans kind of ran him out of town. Like, yes, we kind of did. I will say, and I will get you this video, Chad. I will get you a compilation of this, but throughout the whole season, every time Kyle McCord fucked up, and I'm not talking interception, I'm just talking just an incomplete pass or punting to end the drive, it would pan over to Ryan Day, just going up to Kyle McCord and just giving him the funniest eye roll shrug. Like, what the fuck are you thinking out there, Kyle? I thought it was peak TV. It seemed to me that after like week 3, Ryan Day fucking hated Kyle McCord's guts. All right. I also showed you this, Chad, but current players on Ohio State were liking tweets from fans being like, look how much shittier Kyle McCord is compared to CJ Stroud and Justin Fields. Current players were liking those tweets. So I don't think the current players really fuck with Kyle either in that regard. This is the last thing I heard though, Chad. And
I mean, bro, you're also talking about literal like starting NFL quarterbacks.
Yes. No, I know. We are comparing him to CJ Stroud and Justin Fields. Not really a fair comparison to make. It really isn't at all. But the last thing is, going into the season, there was a quarterback battle between Kyle Midcord and Devin Brown. Apparently, the offensive assistant coaches all voted Devin Brown to be the starter over Kyle, but Ryan Day overrode that decision and said Kyle's going to be the starter. Now, when I just look at body languages of the coaches and players this season, Marvin Harrison, in my opinion, is the number one hater of Kyle McCord. I've never seen a human hate their quarterback so much, just body language on the field in my life. The amount of just incomplete passes, balls into the dirt, he can't even catch the ball, and he is just looking off to like Ryan Day, just like, what the fuck did you just do to my last year? Like, what the actual fuck, bro? Even though they were high school teammates together. And be honest, Kyle McCord, like, was a bigger recruit at the time than Marv. But when I see all those factors, and then this final one, apparently this past week, Kyle and his dad sat down with Ryan and pretty much wanted confirmation that Kyle would be the starter next year. And Ryan Day just could not commit to that. He's like, I cannot promise that. We are looking at names in the transfer portal. Cam Ward has already accepted our deal. And so like, they were like, no, we cannot guarantee he's the starter. Apparently after that conversation, Kyle's dad was like, you're entering the portal. We're done here.
Bro. It's a wild, wild west, man.
A lot of guys in the portal.
Shout out Coach Fritz, though.
Yes, I think, you know what? We could spend some time on that. I just want to say,
I have intentionally not really talked much about that.
Yeah, we don't have to. Like, just as an outsider, just seeing the way that you guys have evolved over the past 2 years, like when it comes to Tulane, I can tell the impact he's had on you too. Like, I can see the things that he has done. If we are going to revisit that one season a couple of years ago to where Tulane
2-10.
Now, yeah, it's night and day difference. It is a night and day difference. And so for him, I have the utmost respect for what he's done.
I have the utmost respect for Coach Fritz. He's a great coach. He's a great guy. So I'm happy for him and for his family, and excited to see where he goes from here with Houston. But as for us in the program, I'm happy where he left us in a better place than he found us, and that's really all that matters.
Yeah, yeah.
No comment.
No more. All right. Yeah.
No comment.
No. I mean, Everett said it best. Like Everett said it, everything that needed to be said. Really, like I don't have much more to say. Like,
yeah. I mean, if there's,
he said he rebuilt Tulane and brought success that people never could have imagined to the school, and he also is now able to set his family up with generational wealth. And like, I mean, yeah, shout out Coach Fritz.
Yeah, I like personally.
Great man, great coach, great baller.
As a quick aside from me, just after seeing that picture of him with the mohawk when he was a player, I mean,
that was all you needed.
What are we talking about, guys?
Yeah,
like that's a football. That's a football guy.
Coach is a badass.
Yeah, no, you got to tip the cap. You got to respect it there. Last transfer portal question for you, Chad. Dante Moore, the hell happened, man? What happened?
You know, UCLA is going through a tough time. I don't really know. I don't go to UCLA, but as a fan of the program and the school.
Breaking news. The 2023 Heisman finalists have just been announced. Jaden Daniels, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, and Marvin Harrison Jr. will be attending New York. I'm sorry.
There's a very clear distinction here between all these candidates.
Yeah, I think we know the one name that's really not on there. But yeah, Jaden Daniels, congratulations. He has won the Heisman Trophy Award. That thing is wrapped up. So congrats.
Yeah.
Do you think, wait, Chad, do you think Jaden shouldn't win it?
No, I think Jaden should win it. I just got distracted by Everett's computer.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I understand.
Yeah, no, I'm distracted by that. So I'm confused what's going on right now.
Yeah, I'm assuming that you guys may or may not have some breaking news over there.
No,
but
we do not have breaking news.
We got
all right. They went muted, ladies and gentlemen. Some crazy shit is going down right now in NOLA, and we have no confirmation on that over on our side. Now, I would go down the college basketball, how are you still in college team? But I know for fact that neither of you are going to know any of the players I'm about to list. So
you should let Chad do it. Let him. It's his what's going on in Charlotte moment 2.0.
Okay. All right. Actually, you can enlighten us on this right now, Chad. What
is going in Charlotte?
Is going on in Charlotte?
Bro, I don't even know. I haven't even been paying attention.
We could talk. Well, this isn't exactly Charlotte. We could talk what the hell's going on in Carolina with the Panthers. What the hell's going on there?
Mark Cuban's going on with the Panthers.
Mark Cuban's going to buy the Panthers.
From Tepper, who just bought them.
Okay, actually, this could be a more fun debate. Mark Cuban is now selling his majority stake for the Mavs, and he is also leaving Shark Tank, which is much bigger news than the whole NBA ownership part. But Mark Cuban, the way I'm looking at it, he's freed up some time. He's freed up some time on his schedule, and I have a feeling he's going to stay invested in sports in some way, but I think he's done with the NBA. I think he's looked at the NBA outlook, looking at the current state of RSNs, how Bally Sports went bankrupt, and he's like, you know what? The revenue growth in the NBA is not as great as the NFL. Could we see Mark Cuban taking over our Chargers? Could we see that happen? Or is that just so out of the picture?
Spanos isn't selling, bro.
Yeah, you're crippled for life. Sorry.
They'll never do it.
Shut up, Everett.
Everett, mean. Okay, we're already going through enough shit. Really mean, dude. Come on. We're talking about vibes here.
Oh, dude, I'm on a tight one with Blumpkin this week. You peeped that?
Okay, I mean, if we're talking,
how about me and Everett top 2 in the league?
Yeah.
And you know what? That actually does have implications for the podcast because we did upload our auction draft on the pod.
We did.
So
you can
and everybody was sleeping on me.
I did get Tank Dell from you for.
Everybody was sleeping on me. I guess who's in first?
I'm still slumped. So.
Yeah, I mean, you did some crazy stuff. I'm not gonna lie, Chad. You did put together some crazy stuff this year. Oh yeah, Chad. Do you know the GTA 6 trailer dropped today?
Yeah, I peeped it.
This was actually the crazy fun fact of the day. Did you know that the very first ever GTA 5 trailer dropped on the same day that NCAA Football 14 was released, July 9th, 2013?
Wow, that's a great fact.
Yeah. I mean, that's the funnest fact I've ever heard in my life.
Nah, for real.
All right, I'm because we've been going for a while.
Did I do my Heisman rankings?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did. Okay. Yeah, well, actually, there's one last thing I want to ask. I want to ask Chad real quick.
Ask.
One last thing. So Zach Wilson just pulled an Alex Moran from BMS. He does not want to go back and be the starter after being benched. He was like, nah, I'm good. Backup quarterback's the life. So Chad, I ask you this, what's a better job? Being a backup quarterback in the NFL, you're getting a paycheck, or being a recently bought out head coach?
Recently bought out head coach.
What is the better job?
Oh,
are we Jimbo Fisher?
Like Jimbo Fisher. I'm not talking Cliff, become an analyst. I'm talking you take that 70 million and you go to Thailand and you go F off and do whatever you want.
Well, it depends. It depends. If you're the backup quarterback from like the Chiefs or the Eagles, a good ass team, then that's litty.
That's the greatest job ever.
You're winning Super Bowls. If you're back, because you got to flip. You think of like the qualitative part of this. A whole fan base hates you if you're recently bought out franchise, coach.
But do you care? You have all that money.
No, you don't care. You don't care much.
Yeah, you
care a little bit.
Yeah,
you don't care that much. But like, if you're winning Super Bowls, that's lit. You're winning Super Bowls and you're getting a bag.
Okay. All right.
That's my take. If you're like the backup quarterback on the Patriots, like no.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, and last question. Is there any chance Jim Harbaugh will become the head coach of the Los Angeles Chargers? Did you hear what he said?
The Tulane Green Wave? Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that's very
breaking news here.
Are we breaking news on the pod?
We are breaking news. New Orleans.
Harbaugh to Yeoman?
Is that what we're breaking right now? He wanted a little bit more of a challenge to get a team to a natty, so he decided to come to the G5.
Well, he was just looking for some more stability and maybe a program where cheating isn't celebrated. So, I mean, I can totally understand.
Try to reinstitute.
Granted, I could totally see Harbaugh in LA because he's already like a Hollywood guy too.
Yeah, like I was just I heard a quote. Harbaugh was talking to Greeny at ESPN, and like a year and a half ago, they just brought up the young quarterbacks in the NFL, and Harbaugh specifically said, I think Justin Herbert's the best out of all of them. And he was talking Mahomes, Hurts, Josh Allen, all the young guys. He said, I think Justin Herbert's the best.
All right. I'm because we've been going for a minute, and like I said in the intro of the episode, it is finals week. I do have an exam tomorrow. I got to study for. So
Chad, we thank you so much. Chad, we thank you so much. We thank you for coming on. Without question, our most recurring guest.
Yeah.
Peace out. We love you. We love you. We got big things coming soon over here. Big things coming soon.
Bro.
Yeah.
What a surprise, Everett. You see, Lau, that was smart. You could have started off with the NFL, but that wouldn't have made sense. But that was very smart out of you.
I thought you were going to ask something when I got up to use the bathroom, but didn't come back then. I kind of timed it, right? Okay. Now we're gonna end up the episode. Kind of been going on for too long to talk the NFL. We'll say that for next episode. So we're just gonna end up with the MVP rankings currently in the NFL. We'll go 10-1. Jared Goff, CJ Stroud, Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Tua, Dak, and Brock Purdy.
Yeah, if it were up to me, forget even like stats or anything. Kind of the Peyton Manning effect to a degree, the Kobe effect to a degree, a little voter fatigue. Mahomes not winning the MVP this year.
No. But I will. The only reason I have him at 4 is just the fact that he has nothing besides Travis Kelce. He has nothing.
They are a wide receiver by committee. It is ridiculous.
So just still what he's doing, just on a pure talent perspective, like MVP is most valuable player, and obviously typically it's who's done great this season. But Patrick Mahomes on an individual level is a team MVP. Because of just what he does.
I mean,
so because of that,
player.
it's like how Tom Brady will perennially, or Peyton Manning, whatever, they will always be in the MVP conversation no matter what, just because of who they are as a player. It's that.
Yeah, I mean, personally, for me, like the bullshit was that Steve Nash won an MVP over Kobe in like 06.
Yeah, no, that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
35 that
That's
year.
disrespectful as fuck.
Yeah, I mean, NBA is my big problem when it comes to MVP. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong here. I would say that NFL, if we're just talking like GOAT cases, do we really look at the MVPs that much? I know that was the old debate for Manning over Brady, but it's pretty much just Super Bowls. Right?
Yeah. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, raise 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at WaterboyPod. Make sure to follow me and Grant on Twitter at EverettStakes and at WaterboyGrant. Post new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday on YouTube and all podcast platforms. Make sure to turn your notifications on YouTube so you do not miss any of our new episodes or shorts that we upload. Post new TikToks essentially every day of the week, so make sure to go follow there for more content. We post new Instagram graphics. It has been 2 times a week. It hasn't been happening recently. We've been very busy.
Things have gotten shook up here over here. Breaking news: Arch Manning will be staying at Texas, despite Quinn Ewers also staying.
But with that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening. We'll see you guys in the next episode. Waterboys out.